Guys.
Okay.
Oh my God, I love stories.
Okay, actually, raise your hand if you have not heard this story. Okay, I only heard half. Maybe like half. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Gotta explain a couple things. One, I do Taekwondo. Okay, I'm a black belt. All right, give me your hand. Yeah. I never got one for being black belt, so I just had to. Okay. Another thing. This took place when I was like living on a military base. So only certain people can get on the base. Okay. It's kind of long, but you know, I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy telling it. Okay. Alright then. So, alright. April 17th, I think, I earned my sometime in April, I earned my black belt Taekwondo, and my instructor, you know, one thing I like to do is I love kicking to the head because I'm a short guy, you know, you find someone tall and you kick him in the head. So, they don't expect it. So, when I got my black belt, I was so happy, like, you know, the test, oh man, I'm so happy. My instructor hands me my black belt and he's like, Rodney, don't kick people in the head. I'm like, yes, sir. 3 days later, something's gonna happen. So, so one time, so you know, I'm just at home chilling, whatever. My phone rings, and it's this girl I know, and like we're not really friends, we're acquaintances, and like it was kind of on a level of I see her like, hi, you know, that's about it. Okay, enjoy your day. So she called me. Long story short, she needed to ride somewhere, and she called me. I'm like, okay, fine, I can help you. Pick her up, but she wants to get on base, but for whatever reason, she could not get on base. So I'm like, fine, I'll just take you somewhere else. I didn't know where that was, but you know, just wherever. So in the car is me, her, and these two guys who I do not know. I have no idea who they are. But you know, I kind of know the girl, so I guess it's okay. So we're driving, and her cell phone rings. And she's like, oh, it's for you, not me, but for one of the guys in the back. And he takes up the phone, and he's like, oh, you're there? Man, he starts yelling instantaneously. I don't know what he's talking about. He's just screaming his head off. So I'm like, okay, whatever. He's like, oh, you're there? We're going to be there. He's like, hey, can you pull into McDonald's, like, you know, half a mile down the road? We pull into McDonald's. Now, at that point in my life, I drove a Saturn, you know, like a small little, like this. Get from point A to point B. It was stick shift. I liked it, so, you know, it was cool. Now, when I was living in Massachusetts at that time, and on weekends, what teenagers would do, they would just, like, hang out in front of McDonald's and, like, eat double cheeseburgers. That was their weekend. So, I'm not that person. So, if you go to Massachusetts right now, on, like, a Friday, Saturday night, there'll be a bunch of something. So, like, you know, we pull inside, and there's, like, 50 people, like probably as much as you guys, maybe a little bit more. They're all like just eating cheeseburgers and like hanging out and doing whatever. Okay, maybe not eating cheeseburgers, maybe French fries, but they're like chilling, you know. So you know, they're just like chilling, and I'm looking to see if I recognize anybody. So I don't recognize. I'm looking at the cars. Everyone has like these big muscle cars. I drove like a Saturn. I can rev the engine, you know, a couple of times because it's stick shift. So, you know, we pull to McDonald's, and we pull, and everyone's looking at me like, oh, we don't recognize this car. So when we get out of the car, it's me, a girl who I kind of know, and two guys who I don't know. We jump in the car, and it's like, probably a bunch of you guys. So it's like, there's not much competition. You know, I'm not looking hard right now. So we got in the car, and like, out of the crowd, this girl comes. Oh my God, she is, I'm sure like people have seen like the movies and TV shows, like, crackhead, you know, they're depicted, they're like really pale and like, she was pale, like, her hair was really stringy and like, she was just super pale, like I keep saying, she made Michael Jackson look like Wesley Snipes, man. She was, that was like, and I was looking at her, not because she was hot, but I was looking at her like,
you gotta show everybody how she walked.
Yeah, so like, out of the crowd, she was like, comes out like, man, just. She's like screaming, and the guy she was talking to on the phone, they come out there arguing. Like a week prior, apparently they had all went to a party, and like she said that she had a bunch of CDs on her bed or something, and she thought that he had stolen. He looked kind of shady, but I don't know. And he's like, no, I have the music on my iPod. I wouldn't do that. Blah blah blah. They go to the same circle. Now I'm looking at her like, wow, this is real crackhead. Cause like, I'm not like. There, you know, so I'm just looking at her, I should have took a picture of it. But I'm just looking at her, wow. But she's like, oh, you know what? I brought my boyfriend here. She kind of turns around, goes to the crowd. Big dude kind of comes out of the crowd, kind of like a big guy. Like, some people might think I'm a big guy, I'm not, but he was like a big guy, like a stocky guy. And we come out of the crowd, some people are like, he's kind of like, anybody seen Friday, you know, Chris Tucker and like, when Debo first comes out on screen, he's like, and he's just like, wow, that's a big guy. I'm literally intimidated. I have no choice but to get it. Yeah. So I'm thinking, you know what? I gave him rides from down. I was like, we don't need to be here anymore. So like, my car's over there. I'm thinking, you know, I can just go. kind of take a step over the car. Guy's like, no, you said hell where you are. I'm like, okay, I just comply. I will.
This is amazing.
They go to the same thing. Guy and the girl argue. I mean, the two guys argue. Like the big guy and the guy who's like on my team. So, you know, they argue or whatever. I'm just thinking, like, I'm still looking at the girl, she's like cracking. They just argue in a circle. Now, he has to pick up a little bit. So he's like, you know what? I don't need this. And out of his pocket, he takes a big knife. You know, like you got the kitchen knives, like from QVC, like they got like a 10-pack of knives or whatever. It's like the biggest one, but it was slightly bigger than that. That means when he woke up this morning and when he went to McDonald's, he was planning to cut somebody. So I'm thinking to myself, man, this guy just pulled a knife out of his pocket and just crack it over there. This is like a bad Sunday night. So you know, he takes the knife out of his pocket. Actually, somebody got like a phone or something real quick. I mean, camera on his phone or the camera or something. Yeah. So you know, and when my head, so you know, he takes the knife out of his pocket and he was like, ooh, he pulls out a knife. I'm like, wow. And the guy who was like on my team, he's like, man, why are you pulling out? I didn't do anything. And he's kind of on the verge of tears. The other guy's like, you know what? Just he keeps saying, like, say it again, say it again, say it again. This knife, say it again, say it again. And he raises the knife. Now, like I said, I'm a martial artist, so you know, when I see somebody, if they do a certain action, like, okay, you're open there, here, so all this is open, because like he has a knife like this. And have you ever thought about like when the Power Ranger, like when they morph, or like it's morphin' time, like can you imagine that surge of adrenaline? Or like when Superman like it's a job for Superman. Like, that surge of adrenaline.
Why copy
or
this
like,
shit?
Yeah. You know, Dad puts on the mask, like it's time. Like so literally when he raised the knife, I mean it was that Power Ranger adrenaline rush. I didn't literally say it's more for time. You know, this is all open, so I was thinking, okay, well, it's gonna end, so all that open, I'm looking at it, then boom! I hit him in the face. Like, and I don't mean like I hit him, I mean like he got boom! Slapped him in the face when I hit you. With no ego, that was the greatest sidekick of all time. Chuck Norris, like, you know, we all know that he died a few years, but death is too much of a bitch to tell him that. But even Chuck Norris would be like, wow. I mean, if Bruce Lee was alive, he'd be like, let me ask you a few questions about that. Like, the hip extension, you know, like, for those of you who don't know, when you're hitting your opponent, you know, you retract, everything was, I mean, flawless. Like, and when I hit him, he's out cold. Half the crowd is just like, okay. The other crowd's like, oh! And when I hit him, I had these surge of emotions like, man, get up, because I want to hit him again. My adrenaline was like so high. Like, when he was on the ground, I was kind of looking over him. I'm kind of looking up, like, let's say all you guys in the crowd, he's here, I'm kind of looking at him, looking up, just see if everyone's going to attack, but everyone's still just like, so I'm like, hey, you know what? Then I'm thinking to myself, okay, 3 days ago, what am I supposed to say?
It's a huge story group.
3 days later, got a problem.
Chicken Rick.
I probably should leave.
Yeah, which one of those?
And the most manly voice I say, everybody, get in the car now! So I like run to my little Saturn, and like, for those of you who don't know, when you hear somebody who knows, like, obviously his nose was broken. So, you know, the eyes get all watery, he had blood and mucus, and it was pretty bad. So, you know, we get to our little car, so like, let's say this is McDonald's, and this is like, you know, we peel out. Now, this was in the days of Dave Chappelle when he was at his peak. So, you know, we peel out, and I slam on the brakes, and everybody in the car is like, what are you doing, man? I drove an older car at that time to roll down the window, and hey yo! Everyone's like, You know, the kids, they shake the conscience, you know? But he's like this on the ground. I assume he's looking for the knife. So, you know, after I roll down the window, it takes, you know, 2 seconds. Replace your ratings. So, all of that. So, right out the window, I yell, hey yo! I turn like, and you know, when I yell, hey yo, I turn, you know, I'm Rodney Johnson, bitch! Everyone died in laughter. I mean, everyone was like rolling in tears. Oh, it was awesome. Then I peel out. I mean, instantaneously. I must be doing like 80 down the road. As I'm going down this way, I see cop cars coming in the opposite direction. So I assume that someone in McDonald's like call the cops because, you know, there's a crackhead and a dude with a knife and some Power Ranger kid more. Like I said, I don't really know these people, so like after we're all laughing and stuff, it's kind of like an empty silence, awkward silence. Like, what are we gonna say? I mean, what is it to say? So we were just kind of driving, and the girl's like, you know what? We just get out here and just go somewhere. I'm, okay, that's fine. I'm not concerned. That's none of my business, but that's cool. Now, like I was saying, there was 3 of them. So the first guy, who apparently, like I might have said, just like he gets out of the car, he's like, man, I got you back forever. Oh my God! Oh, don't even worry about it. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's chill out. It's cool. The second guy, he was quiet the entire time. He just looks at me and says, "You kick high." Okay, well, I don't know how many people here are adults, but PG-13, actually a little bit higher than that, you know. So she, yeah, so no, but she's like, you gotta look at my face. I'm sorry, I'm not that attractive. But she looks at me, she said, Rodney, if you do anything. Alright, thank you. No, thank you. So, they all get in the car, just driving down the home, driving home thinking like, man, I'm the best now. Like, nobody on the planet, like even PG-13, beyond, even like Ron Jeremy, Bruce Lee, and Jet Li, all of them combined, including Ron Jeremy, was not cool to me at that moment in time. I remember like when I was driving home, I looked at my shoe and it had blood on it, I'm like, I just go home and I kind of sit down and I kind of like bask in my own like glory. Like, I just psyched somebody in the face. Awesome! And she actually did call me back a few days later like, hey, you want to hang out? No. I don't mind fighting crackheads, but it didn't look like that. I didn't know her, so that was like the first time we hung out. I ended up like fighting somebody and cracking his nose. Having, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, not even.
Take her up on her offer?
No! Yeah.
That's the worst ending.
No, but any other question? But yeah. Sure.
Rodney Johnson.
Like Evan says, I don't know, you know, you probably remember that for a while. So, you know, I mean, it's not on YouTube. You can't look up like Rodney Johnson, bitch, but you know.
You will soon after this gathering.
Like the chicken version of Kick-Ass.
Yeah, he is.
That's on the legend of Rodney Johnson.
Those people actually, I kind of regret yelling my name, but I never got like a phone call or anything in the news. But, you know, I'm just saying, there's a lot of Rodney Johnsons out there, so call for the bitches. So, you know, just be aware that, let's just say, because I don't know what this kid is, if he's like, you know, you see some kid who's like, man, I got kicked in the face, don't say, oh, it's Rodney Johnson, because he probably remembers that. So, you know,
Or he might not remember shit.
He might, yeah.
He might not.
He might just have a size 12 mark.
Rodney Johnson. He's probably in a karate school right now trying to learn.
He's got a picture of Rodney on a heavy bag.
He's got a picture of Rodney in his bathroom mirror like Ivan Drago. Like. He learns his first sidekick, he crumbles it up.
I don't think it matters where he hit him in the face. The fact that he hit him in the face.
I know, but some spots are more glorious. He's in Russia training in the snow right now. With a log.
Tell him the other story, Rodney. Tell him the bully story.